Hello there everyone, Digi here, and welcome to my update video. You're probably wondering why I changed my name again, but I'll explain that a bit later. Not gonna lie, it's been quite some time ever since my last update video, which was actually about a year ago. Man, time sure flies by. Anywho, I'm making this update video to give you the rundown on what I'm planning to do for this year and onwards. First off, I wanted to bring up a certain topic. And that would be the whole ordeal with Duels of the Cyber Realm. Now, I know there are those who enjoy Duels of the Cyber Realm for what it is, despite some problems. And I know you're all were looking forward to Season 3 of the series, whenever the first episode and such was going to be finished. Well, there's something I got to say about it. I'm sad to say this, but Duelist of the Cyber Realm is getting cancelled.
What? What the f?
Yes, it's getting cancelled. And you might be wondering, Digi, why are you cancelling Duelist of the Cyber Realm? The story of Grogar isn't all finished yet. Yes, I know, I'm well aware of that. You see, I'm not gonna lie with you, I don't like where the story has ended up. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't blame anyone on my team for this. They all have done a really great job, and I would like to thank everyone who ever contributed to my series, especially for being patient with me. I just blame myself for the current series direction, or more specifically, its lack of direction. When I started this series back in 2018, I was heavily inspired by Yugi Bernie, who goes by Yugi Nami, at least I think. And the plan was to mostly just have a bunch of casual duels with my friends, and eventually the fans. And while I could have continued the series in this manner for a long time, I soon became interested in the idea of telling a story to keep you guys engaged. Hence that whole Ursa Minor thing. But looking back at Season 1 of the series, I just wish the story was better thought out. This, along with other personal reasons, is why I decided to give this series a fresh new start. With Season 2 of the series, I personally did enjoy it more than Season 1, due to how the duels had better effort, especially with the latter half of the season. As much as I love what we were doing this season, sadly it wouldn't last forever. Friends come and go, groups change, real life gets in the way, and so on. So you're probably wondering, what are going to be the plans are for rebooting the series? Well, as far as the story goes, it's going to have some elements from the last series, but yet it's going to have some different origins. And there might be somewhat less filler, trimming the fat as they say. It also won't be in the Cyber Realm anymore.
Does this mean I'm fired?
No, Zarvox, I'm still keeping the Cyber Realm stuff. It's just now going to be reserved for cyber reviews, collabs, and any other projects I plan to do outside of the reboot. Also, while some characters and plot threads will unfortunately be dropped, there will be plenty of new characters in the reboot, including Ken characters and OCs, each using their own unique decks.
Will we finally learn what Pot of Greed does?
How the hell did you get in here? Anyway, here are some basic details of the reboot I can reveal, so you guys can get somewhat of an idea what to expect of this reboot. First off, this reboot will use Master Rule 5, albeit with some ruling changes inspired by the earlier anime and game series. First off, I'm bringing back the first turn draw. Secondly, monsters can now be normal summoned in face up and or face down defense position. Also, based on the Power of Chaos trilogy, the maximum main deck limit will be 80 cards instead of 60. There are some other tweaks I'm planning later on, but you'll just have to wait and see what they'll be. Second, since I already said that the story of the series will be similar to DotCR, characters like Digi, which will be called Cyber Gamer in the series, Blitzburner, Rose Primula, Twilight Sparkle, etc. will make their return. And hey, this is Future Digi. I want to give an update that unfortunately around late 2023, a friend of mine that I'm going to have to remain anonymous for privacy reasons, but I will mention that they own the Blitzburner character, they sadly decided to leave the project due to wanting to pursue their own projects. and they don't want my team and I to use Blitz or any other OCs that they own going forward for the project. As sad as it seems, I do wish them very well, and I respect their wishes. And as I was saying, in addition to those characters returning, there will also be new characters introduced as well. And I'm not just referring to the ones you didn't get to see in the old series yet. For now, here are a few characters I'll be showing off. I'll be starting off with these two female main characters. This character here is named Rosalina. She will be replacing Zarvox as my character's AI assistant. Not only that, but she's meant to have one of those nerdy kind of quirks similar to Twilight, and having snarky remarks similar to that of Janine from Ghostbusters. Originally, she was going to have a text-to-speech voice like Zarvox had, and the voice was going to be the Joanna voice. But I decided to end up having a female VA voicing her instead. The type of voice Rosalina will have is something like this one minor character that showed up in the episode Rarity Tanks Manhattan. She was a secretary, I think, similar to Janine from Ghostbusters. Her deck is going to be starting off with a reptile deck that will be upgraded to an archetype known as the Reptilian. And there's also this one other deck, but I don't want to reveal that until when the series gets a little bit further into Season 1. This next mare right here is known as Candy Floss. She is one of Cybers' longtime best friends. Fun fact, this character was going to make her debut in Season 3 of DotCR. I can't reveal too much about her just yet, because some of the stuff I had planned for her in the old series will be in the reboot as well. But I do want to mention that she's going to be the main rival to Cyber, but in a friendly kind of way, instead of the bitter rivalry you usually see in Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. In addition, she's also going to be Cyber's mentor in getting back into dueling. And her main deck will be this archetype known as the Thunder Dragons. And there's going to be this one other deck, but as I said, I don't want to reveal that until we get a little further into the reboot. I already mentioned that Cyber will be showing up in the reboot, but I just wanted to show you what his new look would be, at least for the first season. And also that one other design of him that you've seen in my videos in 2023 will be showing up in the series as well. When exactly though? Well, time will only tell on that deal. Anyway, the main deck he'll be using is a dragon deck. One where it's a random assortment of them and not being restricted to one particular archetype. You got your Blue Eyes, Armed Dragon Thunders, and etc. And later on in the series, it will be upgraded to the Dragon Ruler monsters. By the way, I should mention this, that unlike in DotCR where Cyber aka Digi used multiple decks of different archetypes, he's going to be only using two. The one I just mentioned, and a custom archetype known as Fallout Equestria. Yes, that one OP archetype that showed up in one episode will be reoccurring in this series, but the archetype has changed in a way since then. How so? Well, you'll find out once I get the reboot off the ground. One more thing I should mention with Cyber is that unlike in DotCR where his occupation was unknown, in this reboot he will be established as a media critic. One, he would be reviewing movies, video games, and shows. Kind of like I did in some of my videos on this channel. And this is where I'm going to end talking about the reboot here. More details about it will come when it's ready. Anyway, onto other topics, like... This series of mine isn't going anywhere anytime soon, since I love reviewing TV shows, movies, and video games. You might be wondering, what are my next reviews going to be about? Well, as of this video, I only have 3 games I'm planning to review. These are Counter-Strike Edition 0, which is the gameplay footage you're seeing in this video right now, Bass Avenger, and Marble Blast Ultra. Anything else after that is left unknown at the moment. Yes, Wild, you can still review things with me sometimes, like Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro and some more of those commercials. But those won't be for a long while yet.
Yay!
Anyway, I will take requests sometimes, but ultimately this is my channel and I'll mostly just be reviewing whatever I feel like at any given point in time. And taking a cue from Wildcard, I will be dropping polls sometimes on my community tag from time to time, what kind of review you like me to do. Remember that I used to make speed paints? Okay, maybe you don't, but I do. It may not have been as popular as my other videos, but I really want to start doing these again. Originally, I was going to start off with the speed paint of Sunset Shimmer and the anthropomorphic style with their dual disc, as you can see here. But even though the art came out great, the footage of me drawing it actually got corrupted. CD Soft is weird sometimes, but hopefully I figured out a better software or technique to prevent this from happening again. As for what I'll be drawing, you can mostly expect themes of Yu-Gi-Oh! And My Little Pony, and sometimes combining the two. I might draw some other stuff too, but this is what I'll likely be doing the most. I do have plans on continuing this series. There is one video I do have planned to finish, and that would actually be me covering the scrap archetype. What will happen afterwards is that I'm actually going to let you guys help out by actually choosing what of the 4 archetypes I should cover in the next 5 videos. But actually, after those 5 videos, I am not for sure about yet. There are other videos I wanted to try making too, though I'm not quite sure what kind of videos they'll be yet. I do know at some point I wanted to talk about my favorite video games and consoles, like the Xbox 360. In fact, that's where I actually got the new channel name from, Digibox 360.
The Xbox 360? Is that why it took you so long to finish that Tide Duel episode? Because you were playing that shit all night?
Would you get the fuck out of here? Anyway, yeah, while it is correct in the sense that one of the reasons why the Tag Duel episode took so long to finish is that around December of 2023, I've gotten an Xbox 360 as a gift, and throughout the year of 2024, I've been having a blast with it. I've been playing numerous games like your Call of Duty Classics, your Halos, Gears of War, racing games, fighting games, sport games, and others. Oh, and of course, original Xbox games. I've also been using it as my go-to DVD player, along with watching episodes of shows on there via a digital file. And yes, I am aware that of July 29th of 2024, the Xbox 360 store / live marketplace was shut down. Luckily, I already got what I needed from there. And while I am glad you can still buy Xbox 360 games on the newer Xbox platforms or on Microsoft Store online, with the way games keep getting delisted on digital stores, it actually makes me wonder how long they're even going to support this before dropping it altogether. Who knows for certain. Anyway, before this video ends, the last thing I want to talk with you guys about is that I'm actually not going to be doing any live streams in general anymore. Why? It's just not my thing. Like, I tried to attempt it multiple times, and of all of them, my gaming ones barely get people, and anything that's related to Dueling Nexus and Book, I get like 5 to 10 people at most. And while I do appreciate those who participate in those kind of streams, I just would find it boring if I kept on doing it for every stream. And when it comes to streams, I've been finding myself being bored with them either immediately or after a certain point. Occasionally, I do jump in a stream that one of my friends is doing, and I might have watched it all the way through, but other than that, yeah, overall, for the most part, I just find them not really my thing. Anyway, that's about it for this update video. I'll actually try to make more later down the road, depending on what's going to be going on. Until then, this is Digibox 360, and I'll see you later.